Rishikesh, where the waters of the Ganga still run clear and pristine. Where travelers from all over the world come in search of salvation, or at the very least, a yoga retreat. Rishikesh, in a way, is exactly the India Westerners like me imagine, when they've never been to the country. You come in expecting cliches like the rope trick and sadhus, but discover that there is so much more to this country than you've ever imagined. I too came to Rishikesh on my very first trip to India many years back. I came searching for spirituality and to learn yoga. In the 4 months that I spent here, I learned Tantra and took a yoga teacher certificate. This is where I first started learning about yoga and meditation on my travels in India, and picked up my first few words of Hindi. I've been wanting to go back since we started our India adventure, and finally managed to get to Rishikesh this week. Oh, hey. How you doing?
Good. Long time no see.
I ordered you a limonana.
My favorite.
I remember how we had limonanas here before, man. This is great. This place is great for that, huh?
Right kind of weather too.
Telissa has been meditating since a very young age and came to India in 2014 to learn yoga. She was in Rishikesh when I came here in 2016 to study Tantra and yoga, and we took a trip to Gangotri together. Yeah, so what are you doing now then?
I'm studying a Master's of Yogic Science.
Really?
Yeah.
A Master of Yogic Science?
Yeah, so at a real university with amazing teachers.
So you moved away from like this yoga factory establishments and you moved into like an actual university now to...
Yeah.
But then are you learning in English, or like how does that work? Like...
I have a couple of really great lecturers who are speaking full English, so one-on-one we have classes together once or twice a week to go over all of the information, and I'm free to go to any of the Hindi speaking classes. But
so most of the classes are actually in Hindi?
Most
but
of them
once
are.
Or twice a week only you have...
Yeah, I meet with my lecturers, and it's great because we're one-on-one, so we sit down and we actually get to have a conversation, and rather than just being presented the information and expected to understand it, I get a chance to review all the information from the syllabus and then speak to them one-on-one about what I've learned so far and what I'm not understanding.
Right, but you're also taking up Hindi then, because you're taking classes every day in Hindi.
Thora Hindi.
Thora Hindi.
Just a little.
This is my first time back in Rishikesh actually since that time, I suppose. So I haven't really had a chance to see what has happened to this place since then. But I think one of the things about living in Delhi is that it's a much more busy place, and it's not as calm and laid back as Rishikesh. So I haven't really found the time to keep up with my yoga practice, because I came here, to learn yoga and to create this habit for myself to practice yoga.
Every day.
And I just haven't kept that up at all. I mean, I don't even have a good yoga mat, in Delhi. So
wow.
That's I don't know if that's an excuse for why I'm not doing it.
It's a good excuse, but there's a lot of yoga mats around here, so I can take you to find.
You know a good shop to find a good yoga mat?
I do know a few places that you can get. They're actually making now all natural cork mats, which are made in India, so you can buy them here.
I've heard of those cork mats.
Yeah, and they're made in India, which is quite exciting because for a long time I think all the mats you could get around here were just manufactured ones that you could.
Yeah, because I bought one of those and they just disintegrated after
into nothing.
Yeah.
Come on, I'll show you.
Looks like there's a few different options here.
Yeah.
Now, what is the difference on these ones?
So I think these have slightly more rubber and less cork, and this one has mostly cork and less rubber. So
what do you recommend?
I mean, in terms of grip in this hot weather with sweat, I think this one would be the one to go for.
Probably cheaper too, with less cork in it.
Yeah. How does it feel?
It feels good, yeah.
Nice grip.
Whoa. That looks good to me. I'll take this one. Can't wait to go for a cruise.
I know. This is it?
What, this is it?
Yeah.
It looks different from when I saw it last.
Yeah, last time you saw it, she was silver. Now, nice.
Not only a paint job, you changed the handlebars too, huh?
Yeah, exhaust, everything.
Everything.
All
What's
new.
this Frida Kahlo about?
Frida Kahlo, she's my inspiration for riding the bike.
Yeah?
The first time I rode this bike, before I bought it off my friend, I went on it, took it for a test ride, and I had 4 men yell very inappropriate things at me as I was riding along that very first time. And I realized I would have to not care what anyone else thinks, just do my own thing. And Frida Kahlo is a little bit like this, so she's my inspiration.
That's great. Let's take it for a spin. Do you want me to drive or?
Talissa is still here studying for a master's degree in yogic science. I learned transcendental meditation in Noida from my teacher Vivek Vaidyanathan, who is now here in Rishikesh to focus full-time on meditation. Vivek has introduced me to his teacher, Dr. Sunil Sinha, who used to work as a professor of international relations, only to give that up in order to focus fully on teaching advanced techniques of meditation, which he originally learned at the Maharishi's Ashram while it was still open in the 1990s. He has now taught these techniques in some 90 countries around the world and is one of the most senior teachers of transcendental meditation and has agreed to show me around. In 1961, an ashram was built for the purpose of teaching people transcendental meditation, a technique invented by Mahesh Yogi, also known as Maharishi. Maharishi taught TM to many people from around the world in this ashram, including the Beatles in 1968.
Still very beautiful.
It's a big hall, this one, huh?
Very, very big hall.
So
we are very fortunate. Again, we are here. This is just like heart of the ashram.
The heart of the ashram, huh?
Heart of the ashram, because here, this is the seat. At the time, Maharshi was always happy to sit here,
right,
and talk with the audience, with the meditators, always. And this is the place for the master of Maharishi.
Right.
We called Gurudev.
Gurudev. That was Maharishi's...
Yes, Maharishi's master, right. Maharishi's teacher, Maharishi's Guru. So this is the seat for the Guru of Maharishi. And here, it was a very beautiful seat for Maharishi.
Like a little throne and all.
Yes. Just wonderful. And Maharshi was talking with the audience, especially with the course participants of TTC.
Right. So this entire ashram was set up as like a place to teach transcendental meditation teachers.
Transcendent meditation, and also organize some meetings, some lectures. And this is also the meeting place for the foreigners, dignitaries, very famous people. They are here in the ashram and they want to talk with Maharishi. Right. So this place was one of the most important places of the ashram.
When people would come here, how long would they stay? Like a 6-month retreat kind of thing?
Yes. So about 6 to 9 months, sometime 1 year. Wow. Means for a long time.
Yeah, that's like a residency program.
Yes. And this place is called Chaurasi Kutia.
It came to be known as Chaurasi Kutia Ashram because of the characteristic presence of the 84 meditation chambers from the main teaching area.
These chambers are down in this side. So we'll go and have a look.
So this is also the part of Chaurasi Kutia, one of the chambers.
But not every meditation hall would have these chambers.
No,
it's only this one.
No, this is the only place.
Could imagine this being quite spooky.
Yes. And once it was my chamber.
This was your chamber, this very one?
Yeah.
It's a good thing it didn't hit the roof, because this thing looks very painful if you were to hit the roof. It's a very pointy roof, huh?
Yeah.
So this is your very own meditation chamber from when you took your TTC, or from you were a resident here?
During TTC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brings back a lot of memories, I'm sure.
Yeah. And just think about the number of meditators, 84 meditators at one place, and very successful course.
Even by today's standards, that would be huge. Like to have a course of 70 people.
Yes, just think about it. That's why Maharshiji was very, very happy.
The ashram also had over 100 domed huts within the campus. The ashram is currently under administration of the Rajaji Tiger Reserve. It was renovated in 2016 and became open to the tourists and public. It has become a favorable tourist destination for meditation enthusiasts and Beatles fans alike since then. Mirage, as usual, is late to the party. He's been here many times, but I have a feeling that the Rishikesh he knows is very different from the one I love. This is going to turn out to be an interesting little weekend.
This is where people come to die.
No, don't say that, man.
क्या फूल क्या करेंगे इसका चढ़ाएं कितने के हैं भैया एक और दे दो फिर
एक और दे दो
भाई के लिए भी दे दो
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you.
So I think I'm just like I don't want to pollute the river. That's the only thing. See, you're right. I think all of this is biodegradable. Huh? Anyway, let me.
Good way to bless the beginning. Of experience here.
I think you know more about this part of Rishikesh than I do.
I don't know.
Rishikesh has only been about. Man, I can't light this in this wind. Rishikesh has only been about rafting for me, man. It's only
all about the.
You've actually spent some time on this Ghats.
I lived, not on the Ghats, but I lived in Rishikesh for 4 months.
How did you know about this place? How did you know that like Triveni Ghat even exists?
Well, I've kind of been around most places in town.
You have?
Yeah, but most travelers stay in Lakshman Jula or Ram Jula.
Yeah, you can have mine. Yeah. It's too much of
It's too hard to light them.
Yeah. Chalo. I'm not putting it into the river, but you can go ahead and do that.
चलो माई कपड़ा बाहर दो
अच्छा कपड़ा बाहर दो
Give yours back.
चलो माँ चलो
अच्छा कपड़ा बाहर दो she's telling you not to wash clothes there.
Don't wash clothes here? That's what the guy's walking around saying?
I mean, this is the same river we're going to be rafting on.
Let me see. Give me another match.
So we don't want to...
Oops. Oh, I mean this one. This thing.
Let's go. Let's go, bro. Paddy bhai. Hi. That's my friend, man. Hello.
Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see
you. You look almost the same. Almost the same. This is my friend Johan.
Hi, Johan. Welcome to Rishikesh.
And when I knew Paddy, he was a corporate trainer in Ganga.
I used to know Paddy Singh many moons back when he used to live in Delhi and work as a corporate trainer. We lost touch, and somewhere down the line, Paddy decided to chuck it all up and open an adventure sports outfit. Talk about following your heart.
That's what happens when you live in Rishikesh, you only watch Bollywood. So you get like super melodramatic in life. Jeez, dude. But what's the plan?
Plan is now we are already late for rafting.
Chalo.
So
we
should keep heading back. And then we'll chit chat on the way.
हाँ ठीक है, sounds good. Sounds good.
चलो. See you. Let's go.
चलो आप ही के साथ.
Good.
चलो.
While Johan has been busy with all the esoteric meditation and yoga in Rishikesh, this town has always been synonymous with river rafting for me. And that's what I plan to do. The river is simply gorgeous on the stretch leading down from Shivpuri down to town with little rapids that you can jump into and swim in. The big ones like the wall and the golf course, which can easily capsize a raft. You can take a break and dive into the river from a rock. Paddle through peaceful stretches which test your strength and stamina. If there's only one thing I could do in Rishikesh, then this would be it.
Yeah, this is life, yeah. So you experience the life today, yeah?
Yeah.
So because people used to say, why going back, yeah? Back to the roots. But you know, I knew that I had to come back to the roots, yeah. And this is for all this, yeah, for all this. You spend the whole day today, and you can imagine.
Beats Gurgaon, huh?
Any place, not Gurgaon, any place, yeah. I mean, you have to be really lucky to spend at least, if not more than at least 60 to 70% of the year in places like this, in the lap of nature, you know, rivers, mountains, and plus we keep meeting nice people like you all.
Well, that's very debatable. That is very debatable. It reminds me of how long it's been since you met me last, and you don't know him. So
I feel blessed to be in places like this.
You have a really good setup out here.
yeah, it is. Yeah, this is the quality of life. If you're an outdoorsy guy, you need to be outdoors, and the river, man. I mean,
this river,
it's an entity,
I mean, you don't feel like coming out of it, yeah? I mean, especially like, and he was doing so wonderful today. You did wonderful, man. I mean, for the first time, it is kind of, you know, really. That's how being both of you being sporty kind of people. So
thank you for flattering us. Probably true for him. I'm sporty. I play golf. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, where do you get an opportunity to sit like this on a rock? This rock must have been rolled down here. From I don't know where.
Okay, now don't overdo it. You made your point. Okay, don't overdo it.
I'd never rafted the Ganga, let alone zipped across on a line. Ziplining isn't the most exciting adventure sport out there, but add a magnificent river to the mix and the activity changes in character. Super fun. The rafting was all very well, but the kayaking lesson took the cake. I'd been wanting to get on one of these ever since I saw the kayaks that accompanied our raft. Such an adrenaline rush navigating a quick small craft on a raging river. It's much harder than it looks too. Not only do you have to keep your balance to keep the kayak from tipping over, and dunking your head first into the river. You've also got to change the power of your paddling depending on currents and the direction the kayak is facing. I did get the hang of it, but I didn't want to venture out too far on my own. Paddy said you need an intimate knowledge of the river to kayak on it. I wasn't going to take any chances.
It's got such an interesting vibe, Rishikesh does. A unique concoction of wellness and pot, fitness and spirituality, ashram and high-end spas, rafting and meditation, stirred up by people from all over the world, speaking different languages, seeking different things. It's hard to articulate, but this place seems to make people comfortable in their own skins. And at least for Westerners, it affords another fantastic bonus, complete anonymity. And that's why it's so easy to believe that back in the day, the Beatles were here, as well as so many other celebrities who must have walked these streets undisturbed and unaffected. Johan is keen to show me the 60s Cafe, a popular joint that celebrates the Beatles and music from the flower generation and serves as a reminder of the famous musicians who've passed through this city.
Tons of different records, huh? This one from Sweden here.
That's ABBA, bro. That's not Swedish.
That is Swedish.
And ABBA belongs to the world, bro. Thank you for the music.
The king has lost his crown.
That's true.
Something about you in there.
Voulez-vous, bro. Voulez-vous.
Not bad, huh?
Check this video out, yeah, Philip. Gorgeous, huh? These things had valve amplifiers, huh?
You think so? Yeah.
I actually have that. My dad bought it in 1971. And it still works.
Yeah.
And I still have Voulez-vous. And I play it once every week.
On 33 or 45?
33. That's 78. And there is no 45 here. 45 is something in the middle.
Wow, look at that. Both Indian and...
and I have a guitar that's in way better shape. Although this one is kind of classic.
A little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I used to have one of these, you know. My grandfather had one of them, but...
They're cool, those ones.
Yeah,
an original one of those fetches a pretty penny these days, I think.
Not really, not anymore.
If you have an old one...
If you want one, you can get an old Delhi, eh?
Really?
Yeah, what do you think of that camera? What is that, a Pentax?
This one. Ooh. I think the entire thing is made of plastic.
Of plastic? Okay, it's for effect. It's for effect. It's better than a camera. It's for effect. A camera.
The lens plastic is coming off.
Oh well, I mean, it is. I mean, you know what? This place could have been really like spick and span and totally like titch, as they call it in Hindi, but it's not because it's Rishikesh, man. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like the fact that something based on something in the 60s is not overly curated.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, dusty.
It's
you know,
a little bit dusty.
Come, let's get a coffee or something.
Yeah.
I like the posters.
This is iced tea.
Iced tea, huh?
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you. It doesn't look like iced tea, but it looks like...
Looks like a smoothie or something.
This is Earl Grey flavor. This one of our special.
Very sweet. Honey.
I have a question. How sick are you of the Beatles?
It's the Beatles is like the
Yeah,
sure. It's like the spirits keep on living, even though their music is keep on living.
Are you seriously saying that to me? Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
The spirits
it's like
keep on living.
there are lots of fans, crazy fans that I've seen of Beatles out
Yeah,
there.
sure. So am I.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Shillong.
You got the hairstyle going.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't play the guitar, you said?
No.
Damn, learn the guitar.
What I meet people dance.
You make people dance?
Yeah.
It's not hard to find jungle vibes. Mukesh Dhiman's house and workshop in Rishikesh. He's the only didgeridoo maker in Rishikesh, if not the only one in the country. I'd heard about Mukesh from a musician in Delhi who was toting around one of Mukesh's creations. And a quick search online brought up lots of information about this popular and singular man who makes didgeridoos, a wind instrument native to indigenous Australians for a living.
Hi, Mukesh. Nice to meet you, Miraj.
Welcome. I love for you come near Ganga, eh?
Yeah.
Very.
So what are you working on here?
I'm making didgeridoo, 2-piece. So
You cut it up in the middle.
in middle,
Then
yeah,
you can
like
smooth
midway,
out that
yeah,
bit,
like
yeah.
that cut 5.
तो मुकेश इसको सीजन करना पड़ता है पहले
जी, क्योंकि अगर ये इसमें पानी रहेगा
जी
तो इसका ज्वाइंट कामयाब नहीं होगा.
अच्छा
जो ज्वाइंट खुल जाएगा
जी
क्योंकि इसने ना जाने कौन से देश में जाके बजना है 7 समुद्र पार.
अच्छा
हाँ तो
हाँ तो बिकॉज वो हीट और कोल्ड और ह्यूमिडिटी से तो फर्क पड़ता ही होगा.
जी फर्क पड़ता है.
तो इसको ड्राई करना है पहले.
ड्राई करना है.
अच्छा.
फिर उसके बाद इसको कार्बिन करनी है कितनी चाहिए हमको.
अच्छा.
कितना.
तो मुझे हमेशा लगता था कि डिजिडूज को 1 पीस होते हैं और उनको हॉलो आउट किया होता है.
A chance encounter with an Australian 3 decades back who taught him how to make didgeridoos changed Mukesh's life.
छोटा सा सिस्टम में इधर से कॉटेज में रहते थे स्वामी बर्मन के साथ.
अच्छा.
तो कॉटेज वगैरह बनाते थे वुड के.
अच्छा.
वहाँ एक ऑस्ट्रेलियन आए तो उन्होंने मेरे को बोला भाई आई नीड 1 बम्बू पीस कैन आई शो यू समथिंग. सो हम लोग गए एक बांस खरीदा हमने उसमें साइज चेक करके खरीदा. फिर हम लोग मेरे फादर की दुकान रेलवे रोड पे थी.
राइट.
सो उधर स्टेट बैंक था उस टाइम एटीएम नहीं होते थे ऋषिकेश में. घोड़े टांगा चलता था.
अच्छा कब की बात कर रहे हैं आप?
ये हो गया 30-35 साल पूर्व.
35 years back as well.
Yes. I'm child time. No, my father sent school, but I never interest for this language and writing this.
Right.
So
that's how you.
God give me didgeridoo. I love to like my life. I find God Shiva give me something. ये देखिए natural piece है. इसका धुन का.
It's a big guy, right? It requires a lot of breath.
Talking to him, you get the sense that, like a number of creative people, Mukesh is divorced from commerce. He often sells the instruments he makes for paltry sums depending on the customer's ability to pay. He derives more pride from the fact that his instruments are played all over the world rather than the money he's made. The recognition that has come his way has helped when he needed a hand to buy land and build a studio in the hills. People from all over the world pitched in, and he bought this small piece of paradise high up in the hills looking over the river he loves so much. Here the wind still blows and chimes with the natural rhythms that Mukesh says he needs to make music and didgeridoos.
What a magical and unexpected evening this has turned out to be. We're literally a hillside away from Rishikesh, close enough to see the city and the Ganga, and yet it seems like a world away. In all the time I've spent in Rishikesh, I've never been up here in these hills or had an experience like this. What an utterly fascinating city. Rishikesh is obviously not done with me yet. I'll be back.